What's up, everyone? I was in the middle of making a video last week when that storm came through the U.S., knocked all my power out. It was actually episode 1 of something I'm calling Cooking for the Leftovers. All you need for this is basic kitchen utensils. I have a slow cooker, an Instant Pot, a vacuum sealer, which is relatively inexpensive. And if you don't have a vacuum sealer, you can always submerge whatever in a sink full of water to get all the air out and seal it up like that. But yeah, stick around. We're going to be making one main dish. Like, it was called episode 1. Then I was going to do episode 1.1, 1.2, etc. Going off of everything that I've created, like the main dish. And then, like A, B, C, D, E type stuff. That way you're not eating the same thing over and over throughout the weeks. I just got to figure out the whole meal plan. It's a lot, but stick around, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. All right, what's up? Welcome to episode 1 of what I'm calling Cooking for the Leftovers. Today what we're going to throw down on is carnitas. This is actually just a take on a different recipe that I've used. It actually uses Pepsi in it, which is kind of strange. Sorry about the bag. But we're going to try it out and, like, subscribe, and stick around. We'll figure out what else you can do with leftover carnitas. I actually have a vacuum sealer, so I do this quite often. It's one of my favorite things to eat. But first, you got to start off by cutting the carnitas into 2-inch chunks. So we're just gonna get started on that. I stuck this in the freezer for a little bit just so it firms up a little bit so you can cut it a little bit smoother. I think that helps even with a big piece of meat like this. It helps get the fat nice and hard. That way you can cut it easier. Ooh. See, look, I just cut right through that thing. But this is a boneless pork shoulder. It is 4.5 pounds or so. And then just got to cut it in half. And then just cut it. Kind of like cube it up. I know it's not perfectly square, but you can get it done. I mean, I'm half blind and this is taking me literally no time. Right? I mean, look how quick that was. We got these pieces right here. These pieces. It's got to move. I need a bigger cutting board, man. That'd be so money. Let's cut this chunk off. Oh, sharpen my knife a little bit after this video for sure. And then normally I would use beer or chicken stock to help flavor this. But I saw this interesting recipe online that uses Coke. I don't have Coke, I have Pepsi on hand just because that's just what I had. So we're gonna try that and we're gonna go from there. This is actually the second time I'm doing this video for you guys. I was making carnitas about a week and a half ago, had the video all done. The meat was in the Instant Pot. Then my power went out and I didn't have power for 5 days. So, I mean, it is what it is. We're back now. That's why you haven't seen me posting much, because last week I had to throw all my groceries out. Yeah, you know how frustrating that can be. Now I've got all this meat out. We're going to rub it down, season it up. What I've got in my mix, I'll link in the description. That way it's just a little bit easier. You don't have to keep pausing the video to figure out what I'm saying and how much you need. I'll just write it down and put it in the description. So, we got all this. We got this. Shake it around. Rub it on there, rub it on there. I like to wear gloves when I'm cooking just because I can get them gross and rip them off. And then I have got like a clean set of hands to work with. I know you can always wash your hands. Well, this is just how I like to roll. There we go, got them flipped over. We season it. There we go, got all of it out. Boom. Let me just rub this down, get it all worked in there. Hope you guys are having a good day, man. I had a pretty solid day. Yesterday I felt terrible. That sucked. Woke up feeling good and went and worked out. Maybe I went a little too hard in the gym, and then I had lunch and stuff, and then I just felt horrible. Not cancer related, just my stomach was awful. So it is what it is. I feel good today, so I gotta make the most of it. I'm actually gonna throw this in, then I'm gonna probably work out just because I can, because I feel good. Gotta make the most of that. Here we go, a couple pieces left. All right, like I said, rip these gloves off real quick. I'm gonna pause this video. I'm gonna get my Instant Pot set up, and we'll be back. All right, so I've got the pork in here. I'm searing it up on all 4 sides real quick. And then we're just gonna pressure cook it for a ½ hour, and then do a natural release for 15 minutes, and then the quick release. Then we'll go on to the next step. You wanna throw in a good sized hunk of garlic, because it is 5 pounds of meat. And then this is the part where we take our orange juice and lime juice and pour that directly over the meat. It already smells good just from like that little bit. And then now we just gotta pour the Pepsi over it, just 1 can, 12 ounces. And then pressure cook for 30-35 minutes, and then natural release for 15, and we'll start rocking and rolling. So I started shredding the pork after it went off. Then I got the broiler set on high. So we're gonna put it onto a cookie sheet and then toss it in the broiler for 5-10 minutes so it crisps up a little bit. All right, just pulled the carnitas out of the broiler. I was in there for 5 minutes, you know, kind of crisped up as you can tell. But there you guys have it. That's how you make carnitas. Look, I'm gonna try it real quick for y'all. Yep, pretty good. Try it. I'm telling you. If you did bigger, obviously double it up. If you had like 8 or 9 pound, and then vacuum seal something for leftovers and wait and see. Subscribe.